Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today we're going to talk about a theory regarding Xigbar, or Luxu, should I call him. So today's theory is going to be on if Luxu or Xigbar wanted Sora to win the entire time in the Kingdom Hearts franchise. Now I know that might sound a little bit weird to say out loud, but did Xigbar actually want Sora to win? Now, there's a reason why I probably would think that. Xigbar is Luxu, and he probably had the intentions of wanting the Keyblade back. But he needed someone to finish the Keyblade War again for the conclusion to happen for the Masters to see it all happen again. But the thing here is that, did Xigbar already want Sora to beat Master Xehanort? Now, I know that might sound weird, and it might sound really stupid because Xigbar was working with Master Xehanort, but let me ask you all a question here. Do you think Xigbar knew Sora was using the power of waking? I think he does know, and I think he did know from the beginning. There's one reason why. Xigbar all this time was behind the scenes working to get the Keyblade back. I don't think Xigbar was working against Master Xehanort. I think he was working with him from the beginning until he knew Master Xehanort was getting closer of actually winning. Because if you remember, the organization actually did win against the Guardians of Light until Sora started to use the power of waking. But the thing here is that I think Xigbar already knew that Sora was going to use the power of waking to come back and change it all. Do you want to know why? It's because he didn't get a book of prophecy because he didn't want the oops, sorry. He didn't want he didn't want Xigbar or Luxu to make small paradoxes because of the book of prophecy. Now, I'm going to make a theory video on a book of prophecy later on, but the thing here about Xigbar is that I think he already knew, and I think he actually already had intentions of Sora winning, due to the fact that he needed the Keyblade back. He knew if Master Xehanort won, he wasn't getting that Keyblade back. So the thing here is that the Master of Masters is wrong. 7 lights did defeat 13 darknesses. And I think Xigbar was shocked about that as well, due to the fact that even Luxu was even shocked of Sora being that good at this game. And Luxu saying that you were born for these sorts of games means that Sora was born to be used as a chess piece to save the world. So I'd like to think about this in a very interesting point of view is that I think Xigbar knew that Sora was using the power of waking, and I want to explain why. Let me do that now. Xigbar probably would have knew because he was Luxu. Luxu was the Master of Masters student and was able to see through many of different things, even in Union Cross, being able to see Ava's personal view with even just his eyes, or being able to see people's judgments by just using his eyes, like how Master Xehanort was able to see Sora using the power of waking to go through time. He kept saying, "Are you ready to pay for the ultimate price?" I think Xigbar knew, because I think Xigbar wanted Sora to use the power of waking. Now, I know a lot of people could say, well, that's a far stretch. How would he have known? Well, Xigbar did say, the old man said he would bequeath me his, because he wanted to get the Keyblade back no matter what. But he knew that he couldn't get the Keyblade back if Master Xehanort won, and it all ended, because the world would have reset then and there. So he had to probably use an opportunity to watch over it, and I think it was Sora. I think Xigbar, once he sees him again as Luxu, will thank Sora for doing this for him, due to the fact that he needed to get the Keyblade back no matter what. At the end of the day, so he could give it back to the Master of Masters. Now, the Book of Prophecy theory I'm going to make is on how the Master of Masters was wrong. But the thing here is that, what if Xigbar already knew that the Seven Lights were going to win? Just like how many of the other foretellers thought that it was possible for 7 Lights to defeat 13 Darknesses. Now, I already made a video beforehand that I said that Sora technically carried that entire battle. because they lost all to Terranort. Terranort bodied them pretty badly, but we're not going to talk about that. Not in this video. We're going to talk about the Guardians of Light next time. But the thing here is that I find Xigbar very fascinating because I think Xigbar knew. And I think Xigbar wanted it to happen. I do think Xigbar probably believed that it was a possibility of Sora losing. But also, in DDD, when Sora asked him, is he scared to become a part of Xehanort, Xigbar already said he was already 50% Xehanort, half percent of it, half percentile. We don't know why Xigbar wanted that, but we kind of do. He needed to watch over the Keyblade, so he joined the organization, and he got his most trust from Xehanort. But the thing here is that I'd like to talk about how when Master Xehanort dies, he says this was not what was written. Does that mean that Master Xehanort read the Book of Prophecies himself, or did Xigbar tell him about it? Now that's only a theory, due to the fact that Xigbar could have told Master Xehanort probably everything in the Secret Sea. Because, well, him and Master Xehanort are pretty close friends and all these other things. Or Master Xehanort, when he went on the tour with the Master of Masters, he probably saw it himself. But Xigbar didn't carry a Book of Prophecy. So that means that he read the book himself, the Master of Masters told him about it, or Xigbar told him about it. It's one of the three. And I'd like to think that Xigbar knew that Master Xehanort was going to be the chosen one, due to the fact that he got the Keyblade. Which means that we could just say, oh, Xigbar lost it. No, I think Xigbar purposely lost it. And purposely wanted someone to find it, who was Master Xehanort, who found it, or Xehanort at the time. But this could mean that Master Xehanort was chosen not because he was an easy target to be used, no, but because Master Xehanort was smart. And I don't think Xigbar actually thought Xehanort was going to possibly be able to win, to tell you the honest truth. But I do know the Master of Masters did explain that it's impossible for 7 lights to beat 13 great darknesses, because he wanted the Keyblade War to start again. But I think that Xigbar knew Sora was going to win, and that the Master of Masters was going to be wrong, because Sora broke the Book of Prophecy. He broke it. He defied destiny. He cheated, technically. In the game, he cheated. He won. And the thing here is that if you think about it really well, like a chess game, that means when all of the 7 Guardians of Light died, the game was over when Master Ericus and Master Xehanort were playing the chessboard. But let's say Master Ericus said, let's start over and try it again while they were playing chess. This time I'm going to beat you, because there's more to light than meets the eye. Let's say they did restart the game, which means the entire story, Sora would go back in time, and let's say Master Ericus could only put the chess pieces down that he was using at that time. There's 7 Guardians of Light, which means there's 7 main top pieces. You have the King, the Queen, the 2 bishops, and the 2 knights. That's 7 pieces. So 2 knights, 2 bishops. No, 1 bishop, 1 rook. I always get confused. And the King and the Queen are 6, 7. Maybe I got that wrong. I haven't played chess in a while. But if you think about it here, those are the 7 pieces he could only win against, while Master Xehanort had all 13 pieces on his side, and they redid the game again, which would be pretty interesting. But I think Xigbar was a part of that game. I do think that Xigbar was always a part of that game, because remember the Keyblade that Master Xehanort was using was put up while they were looking at the end of the cutscene when Master Xehanort was playing chess with Master Ericus before everything happened in Scala, which means Xigbar chose him with the Master of Masters. But why? I think it's because they probably thought Master Xehanort would have taken it to that point. But I didn't think they actually thought I think the Master of Masters thought that Master Xehanort was going to win, but I don't think Xigbar did. I think Xigbar knew that Sora was going to do everything possible to make it happen. I always thought that. I always thought that he knew as Luxu that the Master of Masters could have been wrong. He played his part, and he played it perfectly. He wasn't supposed to intervene or anything. He did his job. And I do think that this could mean in the future that Xigbar could thank Sora, saying that I couldn't get the Keyblade from the old coot even if I tried. Xigbar probably would say that. Because let me explain something to you all. Master Xehanort is a genius. A man that planned out everything perfectly. He knew what was going to happen, not just because of the Book of Prophecy, but because he plans for everything perfectly. And this theory is that Master Xehanort probably knew just like Xigbar, and that's why they were so close. Why he always trusted Xigbar. But the thing is, the trust was never broken because Sora broke that trust. Sora broke it all. Sora broke Xigbar's anticipations, probably even the Master of Masters, probably even Master Xehanort. Master Xehanort was even shocked. So this theory here about Xigbar and Master Xehanort and Sora is that Sora broke the Book of Prophecies. He defied it all, which is probably why the foretellers are able to come back. But that's a theory in the Book of Prophecy video tomorrow. This is just the mini theory on Xigbar probably knowing probably knowing of Sora actually winning and maybe Master Xehanort accepting his downfall. We will never know until Melody Memories tells us or until Kingdom Hearts 4. We'll never know. But thank you all for watching, and if you like this video, please tell me. And if you want more, I'm gonna be posting more. So, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.